One. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host for this evening, and in the room, I have with me a special guest today. We have Matthew Hunter with us from MMH Productions. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and how did you get involved with independent filmmaking?
Um, my name is Matthew. I'm a 17-year-old. I go to CVCC. This fall, I'll be going to CSU to major in film. I started independent filming when I was in seventh grade. Our teacher had a project where we had to write a movie, and we got bonus points if we actually made it. So I started with that, and I made a movie about. I did like a remake of Puppet Master for the class, and the class was really impressed with it, and I've just stuck with it since then.
Okay. So, I understand that a couple years ago that you went around and did a Kickstarter for an anthology called Dark Side Stories. How did you get involved with that? And I understand that um, in order to put an anthology together, you kind of have to. You could, most filmmakers end up doing some short films and then directing a wraparound around it, and I'm assuming that's kind of what you did.
Yeah, I wrote Dark Side Stories when I was in eighth grade.
Okay.
Um, I had three different stories. The only one that stayed with the actual film was Silver Bullets. Balloons came later on, and then my friend Anthony Leota, he was one of the main writers for Late Fee at the end of the film.
Okay.
So over the summer, we decided to put all three together and make a little campfire story because I got the idea from watching the Willies.
Okay. And how did you go about in finding your cast members for each of the short films? And which story did you start with?
For most of the short films, for my first short film, Apples, I had a little thing put up, and I just had a few friends that I knew really well. For Dark Side Stories, it was also some friends, and I got some friends of their friends and people I never knew before because I had like a kind of an open cast.
Okay.
Um, Silver Bullets, I kind of laid off a little bit. I just wanted to reamp it, but I really took most of the time writing balloons because I really felt like I could do something really good with that film. And based on what I had, if I could, I'd probably be able to make that one an actual feature film with more plot lines and more dramatic events than what happened.
Okay.
My favorite, my favorite was balloons, and then it'd be Anthony's Late Fee after.
And that's my favorite too. And I think that the the reason why is that really shows that the amount of time that you put into to doing that a specific story. But ultimately, how was the film received to the general public so far? I understand it. Is it still circulating the festival circuit?
I still am waiting for a few festivals to see if I get in for it. Um, Besides that, I've mostly been a lot more with Nightmares Unleashed, but
Okay.
there's still 5 to 10 more festivals I'm waiting to know if Darkseid gets in or not yet.
Okay, cool, cool. Now I understand that you are also an actor as well, from what I understand. So why don't you tell me some of the features that you have acted in so far?
Well, for all my films, I usually put myself in a little acting part of the movie.
Okay,
Um, for Dark Side, I was one of the main campers, and my dad was the actual dad of the movie.
okay,
And then for Nightmares, I actually played the jester.
okay,
But then outside of my films, I was also in Brooklyn E Brooklyn Ewig's She Was So Pretty, Be Good for Goodness Sake. I think last year, which was
okay,
my first real acting part and was an amazing experience.
cool. Is there anything that you can tell me from that experience, what you were able to do on the set while you were there? I understand that the first film of Brooklyn Ewing's was a major success in the indie world. So I know it must have been an interesting experience working with her. How was that experience?
It was really awesome. She's an amazing filmmaker. She has many ideas. I know she's working on a few things coming up this summer with her Creepy Tales, which I'm excited to see. Um, I got there probably earlier than the other ones because I had to drive out from Ohio to West Virginia,
Okay.
and I got there and I was able to like hang out with them before and get to know them better and watch horror movies. Yeah. Um, but it was really nice also when I went to Nightmares Film Festival to actually I had to go from my friends' movies who got in, and that's where I met them, and I just really loved She Was So Pretty. And after we started talking, I really wanted to be a part of the second one, and I got the role of Christian. But she's really an amazing person to work with.
Now, is there anything that you can tell us about the role of Christian while you're on? Before I touch on you about your newest short film, Nightmares Unleashed.
I was mostly one of the kids. I was one of the people who's Alfie. I don't know if I can say much, but one of the people he stalked. I was one of the kids.
Okay.
But I don't know if I could say that much because it's still also around doing different festivals still.
Totally understand on that note. In any case, moving on to Nightmares Unleashed. So I understand this last year you did another Kickstarter, which was successful in going through its financial stage, and you just are going to release it soon to the public, correct?
Yeah, we finished about a month ago, and I just recently submitted to about 20 plus festivals. I've only showed like 2 cast members for their opinion, and I showed it to Brooklyn, and I sent it to some so far just to get some opinions and other things. But I'll recently near the end of the month, I'll be sending out all the DVDs to the producers who helped out. So it will soon be released there. But then after some festivals, that's probably more content.
Very cool. So, is there anything that you can tell us about the short film's premise? What is it about? Very minimally. I know you want it to gain a public audience, and I know you don't want to say too much, but is there anything that you can say exactly what it is about?
Never Unleashed is about a girl who loves watching these horror films. And one night, Joseph the Jester pulls her into the TV, and she has to escape all the movies she's watched or her nightmares. We have zombies, witches, vampires, creepy kids, clown, and a corpse, and some other things in the film.
Cool. And is there anyone new that you're working with that you didn't work with last time around with Dark Side Stories, or are you kind of going with the same crew?
I had the same crew, which was just my I know for Dark Side, it was mostly me and Anthony Leota because he had his late fee. For this one, it was me and my other friend, John Polis. He did all the music. He did a lot of the music for Dark Side, and my films. He's very big on music. He's more the but he was one of the main helping directors for Nightmares, and he also played some piano player. But most of the casts are the same. There's some people who are a little switched out and different because I like getting new faces now and then, which is for the next few films is to get newer faces. But it's always nice to have the old cast back too because you can work well with the old people.
Oh yeah, you got to have your go-to people especially since it's very hard to find independent help when you're working to direct a movie for free. Basically, you're paying for their meals, basically. So ultimately, where do you see yourself heading from here, and what else can we look forward to in store for your career? Do you have a lot more to share with us?
Yeah. Um, this weekend we start filming my next short film, Apples 2, which is really just a film where I can just have crazy kills and a ton of blood splattered all over everywhere. It's more, yeah, it's more of the just a bloody film to have fun with. Um, I'm also working for more of a YouTube purpose and festivals is Poe stories. I want to just tell some Edgar Allan Poe stories my way.
Okay.
And then we're also working on Gum, which is going to be a um someone is these three friends. They want to try to get a brain enhancement to get ready for their test. And just like how you have muscle power to make you stronger,
Okay.
this is gonna be your brain, but instead, one of the kids gets their blood mixed in with the mixture, and it creates a killing gum monster, and it control everyone. So that's gonna be a fun one to work with.
So kind of like a weird science project type of film, uh, thereabouts. Alrighty. So definitely now, are you going to be doing a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo for Apples 2 as well down the road?
Um, I might do one for Apples 2. If I do, I'll probably put Apples 2 and Gum together, maybe. I don't know because Gum's probably gonna be the one of the biggest projects because I don't know yet if we're doing a monster or
Okay.
we're gonna be doing CGI this time for a CGI monster. We're still figuring all that out.
Okay.
But Apples 2, I might some soon, maybe next month I'll have one going for it.
Okay.
Like,
Is
but yeah.
there is there anywhere that anyone can see your apples, your first apples? If anyone hasn't seen any of your previous work, I know it wasn't part of Dark Side Stories, or was it?
Apples wasn't, but if you get the DVD, we have the movie on there.
Okay.
But I mostly do a lot of guerrilla filmmaking with a different set of people who are always on the films. I have a lot of my non-festival films on YouTube, but I'm probably going to be putting Apples on YouTube this weekend or next weekend, just to start getting ready for Apples Part 2.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. So ultimately, uh, again, folks, this is Matthew Mark Hunter. He's a very young filmmaker, very eager horror film director. Definitely sounds like we have a lot to look forward to. So thank you for coming on the show and talking with me about your productions. Now, as a film director, how was your relationship with your cast members while you were filming Dark Side Stories as well as Nightmares Unleashed?
Dark Side they were some ups and downs because Silver Bullets had a huge cast, and then Balloons only had 4 actors, so it varied between each set. For Late Feet, we filmed at Family Video, so it was a little but the cast really communicates well with me. We always are serious when we have to be, but if we're not, we're always joking around now and then. Then
Okay.
it's pretty easy, except the one film shoot, well, two, because it's hard to work with a lot of kids on set because it's harder to get them to all listen at once.
Very true. It's hard to get the attention of the small ones.
For the vampire scene, we filmed it at Cleveland's Playhouse Square, where they have the musicals and plays
Okay.
downtown Cleveland. So getting that location was really tiring and long, and then getting all the dancers and choreographing the dance to everyone do it the same was hard. But ultimately, they all responded good, and it was just a fun time.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate your time coming on. I know this wasn't a too long interview, but I wanted to get you on because to me, getting people on and talking to them, especially on YouTube and a live audience like this, even though I don't have as many views as I'd like, um, I I definitely enjoy listening to the different stories and trying to promote in my own way as I am a producer on some of your projects. So I appreciate you being able to allow me to be part of your endeavors as well. So this was my opportunity to try to reach out and support you um, in your artistic need. And since I know that your release is coming out, so appreciate you being able to come on.
It's really great to get out there more and talk about my films and have people see it. And I hope that you stay with the production stuff, and we'll keep updating back and forth. And I'll try to help get your videos and share them from now on and get them shown too.
Definitely. So what I'm going to ask you is there a website that people can go and find out your stuff, or is it just on a Facebook page?
I have my YouTube channel. You just type in Mathew Hunter, and it'll probably come up MMH Productions. Or if you go to IMDb and type in Mathew Mark Hunter, it should come up with me with Dark Side Stories. You scroll down, and there's a link to my website there. It says MMH website. You just click that, and there's all my films and things.
Okay, cool. And again, folks, my name is David Strege. I've been your host for this evening, and I will be your host throughout this podcast as long as it runs. And I'm a small-time producer as well as a blogist. Where I write at Movies Galore of Milwaukee, as well as run Inside Movies Galore. And like I said, I'm a small-time producer. One of the things that is coming out that I have produced is Wrestle Massacre, which is directed by Brad Twigg, which we had Renee Dupree and a few other wrestlers acting in, and it should be fun. So definitely check that out as well. And hopefully like and subscribe, and hopefully you've enjoyed listening to the tale of Mathew Mark Hunter and his exploits. In any case, stay tuned for more. Tomorrow is an interview with director Stephen Biggins of Witchtown from Ohio. So definitely check that out. And tomorrow I have a film discussion on a film that was directed by Mr. Man, called Manhunter, starring William Peterson, which a few discussions back, we had a discussion about the Beast, so definitely check that out as well. That's at 9 p.m. Central, if you can check that out. In any case, thank you for stopping by and listening. Enjoy your evening. And why don't you say good night, good afternoon, Mr. Hunter.
Good afternoon.